It's me, Henri Dosset. When you watch a horror movie, the common plot that most horror movies have is that you have a bunch of people, often a family or a group of friends. They enter to a new location. Everything appears too good to be true, but they don't notice it's too good to be true. Just one or two of them realize that hold on a minute, something's off. And then the manifestations of the evil begins, and before you know it, they realize that they're haunted or there's some serial killer behind them, whatever. And then after one of them survives. Not always the case, but that's a common plot for horror movies. Now, in horror movies, there is one thing we often don't pay attention to. And it is the most important thing we should notice from the start. And that is, why did the environment collaborate with the haunting? Think about it. Let's say you have a horror movie and a family moves in. Mom, dad, children, and children go to the new school in a new neighborhood. Mom and dad have a mortgage, so they have to go to work every day to pay off the mortgage. So they got a job there also. They moved into a new neighborhood. They got the jobs there. Children go to school there. When they came in, they were welcomed. They made new friends. Oh, but hold on. Nobody informs them about the fact that that house that they moved into is haunted. I can understand that the real estate office that sells the house wouldn't say it because they wouldn't get anyone to buy the house. But the locals have the natural obligation to comply with safety in their community. That means if a house is haunted, they should alert the ones moving in and they should collaborate with resolving the issue. But in many horror movies, the locals are quiet and they withhold this important information from the new targets. That's quite evil. Because what if that entity in that house ended up killing them or the children? So the people around there, they know the danger. They see another family walk right into the danger, but they don't say anything. They just all smile to pretend like everything is fine. Now that's evil right over there. But often when you watch a horror movie, we don't pay attention to this directly. We pay attention to the scenes, to the excitement. Well, listen to me. Movies are not made just for fun and to give you a good time. Those movies are made to show you something about reality. Because those movies are based on something real out there. Now, the movie itself is a fictional production, but it's based on something real. And what do horror movies show you? They show you that the masses tend to collaborate with evil. Now, why do the masses collaborate with evil like this? Because they just want to be left alone. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be quote unquote involved. So when something is off in their environment, their tendency is to ignore it or to pretend that it's not there by just looking away. Or if they can't ignore it, now they want to fight it because they want to be left alone. So if when they do recognize that something is off, they only do it out of necessity. Even then they're upset that they need to admit that it's there. In real life, this often happens. I won't talk about hauntings that much because with actual hauntings, it does happen in real life. That the environment collaborates with you being trapped in a bad situation. But look at another situation. Let's say now that people have noticed that your husband acts a bit weird lately. He's a bit more angry, more aggressive, whatever. Now, as a community where you live in, it's their obligation to look after the people of their community. So they should inform you, ma'am, your husband is a bit irritable lately. Are you guys all right? If you guys need help, you can reach out to us, no problem. And if the community notices that the behavior of the husband becomes worse and worse, they should report it, just in case intervention is needed. But if the community notices something about your husband, for example, and they don't inform you, and later, one day, your husband almost chokes you to death because he lost himself, guess what? People can say, but you are the wife, you should have noticed something. Oh, hold on. As a human being, you don't notice everything. And even if you would be an individual that didn't value herself, the community should value themselves as a community by intervening when something goes wrong in their community. Now, this is just an example I'm giving. You can use more scenarios. For example, there was this murder case from the United States in which the wife was cheating on the husband. Eventually, she said she stopped cheating, but she kept cheating, and everyone at work knew about it, that the wife still cheated on the husband. And the wife was a loyal family man. He grew up without a father himself, because his father bonded the family, so he, as a house father now, wanted to be there for his family. The wife, however, was abusive. She kept cheating on him. So at work, everyone knew about it. There was only one colleague that informed, listen, your wife is cheating on you with this guy over here. Eventually, it led to the daughter of the couple attempting suicide because the situation with her parents became too much for her. When that happened, the man lost his mind and he went and killed the guy the wife was cheating with, and she almost killed the wife too, but then he realized, hold on a minute, I have a daughter. Now, I don't approve what happened, absolutely not. Just think about this. Everyone there at work knew what was going on. If everyone at work told me, hey, listen, dude, you're with us working here, so we have to tell you your wife's still cheating on you, and we don't want you to lose your mind and explode one day when you find out she's been lying to you. So, or they could have told him, listen, your wife is seeing this guy often. You know what, we're a bit concerned with this. Please inform your wife about this. But no, they let it happen, and when the man found out, much later, it was a bigger shock. It also affected the child who attempted suicide, all that. So it's not just the wife and husband who were dysfunctional and the other guy that the wife was cheating with. The whole community there was in on it. They allow bad things to happen. Now, why am I recording this video? Because I want you to understand the following. Whenever evil happens on the earth anywhere, it cannot happen without the collaboration of the masses. The masses have to collaborate by being neglectful. If the masses are not neglectful, no evil can happen on the earth. As simple as that. But too often when evil happens, we look for the perpetrator. Of course, it's understandable you look for the perpetrator because he or she is the one enacting the evil. But they can only act the evil if the community gives them opportunity to do it by being neglectful. Now, if people are not aware that something bad is happening, that's different. That's not neglect. If they were just unaware, then it's just an incident. But when the community is aware that something is off and they don't do anything about it constructively, that means that they're in on it. So you can't just put your finger at the perpetrator and say, oh, locking up, put him in prison, as if then that's going to solve everything. No, no, no. You have to face the fact, okay, this individual was a perpetrator, he or she did something horrible. Even if you put them in prison or you would execute them, killing them, that doesn't take away that you have a neglectful community that was in on allowing bad things to happen. And often that same neglectful community will deny that they're culpable, and if you call them out, they will attack you and blame you and blame the victim. So you're dealing with a narcissistic crowd that wants validation at all costs, but don't want the obligations that come along with it. And if some of them do their natural duty, they're going to use it against you later on and say, hey, I did my part, just to escape other things that they don't want to do. Look, we're not cynical, but we're also not walking on pink clouds, thinking everything is moonshine and roses. No, we face reality for what it is. Not everything is bad, not everything is evil. So we're not paranoid and suspicious. No, we just pay attention to the facts. No evil can happen on the earth. Evil is not just a bad incident. Evil is when destruction plays out. I'm not talking about incidents like someone just killed someone. The killing was an incident, but the evil that happened was the devaluing of human life. The evil that happened is the devaluing of human life. And as a result of that, this incident, someone was killed. So if you only address someone being killed, or someone or the murder incident, then you think we dealt with the evil. No, you haven't dealt with evil. You only address an incident. The evil was that human life was devalued. And who devalued human life? The community, by being neglectful. No evil can happen on the earth without the collaboration of the masses. So if you want long-term change for the better, if you want improvement, then you have to be removed and divorced from certain people. Because not everyone wants better, not everyone wants solutions, and not everyone wants to move on. Many will claim they want to move on just to appease you or to get a pat on the back. But when it comes down to it, they just want to escape and continue in cycles. The only time they stand up is when their relief is disrupted. When their relief is disrupted, they stand up and they fight. Just to get back to escaping again. So just because people stand up against something that's wrong, that doesn't automatically mean they're right. Why are they standing up against what's wrong? It's because they really agree with better and they want better, or they just explode because they want to be bothered by the evil thing that's in their face. So that means that if they were able to ignore the evil thing in their face, they would do it. The only reason they act out against is because they can't escape it. Look, do not expect the worst from people just because they were born in sin or whatever. No, don't do that. But also don't walk around with a worldview that goes against reality. There are good people out there, the people who want better, the people who will contribute for the better, absolutely they exist. But not everyone contributes for the better. And you need to learn to accept people for what they are. Accept them for what they are does not mean you approve of what they are. It simply means you embrace the fact that this is what they are and I can't expect better from them. Now, you should expect better from them, but for you to expect better, they need to change. So they should be better and they should act and behave better. They should be better human beings and safe human beings, absolutely. But the fact is they're not. That doesn't mean it's okay for them to be that way. It's not okay. It's not something you should endorse nor condone. You don't condone nor endorse the way they are. But you have to accept that's the way they are now. That's what they are at the moment. They may change for the better. If that happens, hooray. But they may not change for the better. What needs to change for the better is you. You need to change for the better. Focus on you changing for the better. Because whether they change for the better or not, then that's not something you can decide. That's not something that you can decide. You can decide to motivate them to become better and to be a good influence around them, but eventually they need to give up escaping and become better and safe human beings. And you're not guaranteed that they will become better and safe human beings. You're not. So, some people you need to move on without them. Shake dust off your feet, and in peace, you move on from them and you embrace better. Listen, of course you can forgive people. You should forgive everyone, but it doesn't mean you have to reconcile with everyone and you have to be re-engaged with people that are not safe. Look, I'm going to repeat it one more time. No evil can unfold on the earth without collaboration of the masses. So don't just be distracted by the bad incident. Don't be distracted by the individual perpetrators. Look at the whole community and accept the fact that something is missing in the community. And if the people don't want to admit that something is missing, then listen, now you know what you're dealing with. If you have to deal with those people, deal with them in a practical way, walk in love towards them, but don't walk in love with them. We need to use discernment when we deal with other people. Well, that's it for now. Keep on agreeing with Christ, be at peace, and I'll see you in my next live stream.